Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace, and I am your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I am also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. You have arrived at Mediation Monday, so happy Monday to you. Let's talk about how you can simplify your divorce. These are tips for my families that have children with special needs. But I think whether you have a child with special needs or not, you're going to find some of these tips incredibly helpful. So let's talk about navigating the legal landscape of divorce. Right? It wasn't that hard when you got married, but it got really hard when you decided to get a divorce. So let's talk about that. There are specific requirements whenever we are dealing with children in terms of child support, the parenting plan, all those types of things. There's legal and there's physical custody. And then you also want to think about what are the additional needs and extra little things that my wonderful child needs. Okay? So you want to create a detailed parenting plan that really addresses their needs. This is why I want you to choose mediation. Because you can get something custom. You're going to go to court and get something cookie cutter, and you can be sure it will not work for your child. It is not going to match your child. It is not going to be what they need. So take some time. See if your spouse will work with you for the sake of your children. Even if you don't agree on those other things, if you can agree on a parenting plan, you're ahead of the game, and your children are very, very fortunate because of that. So you also want to think about the fact that depending on the severity of needs of your children, they may need additional child support, and it may need to last longer to take care of their specific needs. And you may also need to be thinking about an estate plan. What is going to happen to our child when we are no longer on this earth? Even though we're getting a divorce, how are we going to continue to provide for them if they cannot become members of society where they can support themselves, where they can even care for themselves? If they have to be in some sort of facility, how is that going to be paid for? So you want to be thinking about those things right now. Right now. It's not comfortable, but you want to be thinking, hey, your divorce isn't comfortable, right? So just bite the bullet and think about these uncomfortable things, because your future self will thank you. Okay. So one of the things, I feel bad. I keep looking down because I have got notes, so I'm sorry. But one of the things is you have to prioritize your child's needs during the divorce process. Now, this can get really hard if your spouse is using your child as a pawn. And then it's like, I'm trying to be child focused. They're using them as a pawn. And then they're like projecting that they're the saintly one and that I'm using my child as a pawn. So it can get really, really hard. But you know the truth. You know the truth. They know the truth. So do your best to prioritize their needs. I'm sorry, their meaning your child's. Do your best to prioritize your child's needs, even if your soon-to-be ex might be behaving a little bit badly. I find that most people can kind of get past their woundedness to focus on the needs of their child. If they can't, they can't. And then that might be, additional mediation sessions. It may be that you end up going before a judge, but most folks can handle that. So you have to think about what specific needs do they have? How do I keep this routine consistent? How do I help them maintain the growth that they have so that they don't regress because of living in two different homes and having a change and being uncomfortable of expectations about what is going to happen. So, and along that point, you want to create consistency and stability for them so that they know what to predict. Even when things are changing, if they know what's coming next, whether they like it or not, at least they can be prepared. Also, you want to have good communication. Ooh, that's really hard with your ex who's being difficult. I had a client say to me the other day, Claudia, you want me to be the bigger person, and I'm just not ready to do that. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. Okay. For the rest, y'all, yes, I'm asking you to be the bigger person. Please communicate effectively for your child. Don't let your child go to the emergency room and you not call the other parent. Okay. This one is tricky. You have to manage your own self-care while navigating divorce and caring for your family. Divorce is a B, right? You are, whether you initiated this divorce or not, whether you wanted it or not, it's kind of knocking the wind out of you. And to be able and to have to care for children on top of that is incredibly difficult. And then to have to care for children who may have special needs and maybe very severe needs, that's like darn near impossible. So you have to take care of yourself, even if it's only a few minutes a day. You gotta get time to yourself, by yourself. You have to go for a walk or watch something that's funny to make you laugh, or maybe listen, I'm going to tell you to skip the dessert. I love dessert, but maybe skip the dessert and have some fresh fruit. Anything that can nourish your body or soul. Meditate. That was always hard for me because my mind would spin and it wasn't good. I needed to stay busy. But whatever you can do to get yourself taken care of so you can get yourself nourished, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, and plan that out. Give yourself hope. I know that on this day, I am doing this. On this day of the week, I always do this. That will give you the strength to keep going. Use your support systems. It's the summertime. If your child is not at camp, if the extended school year is not still going on, if they're not, like, put them in extended school year next year, if that's been offered to them. If there's an option for them to go to camp, have them go to camp, just so that you can have some time to yourself during the summer months, during the day. It's not that you don't love your child, but you can't love them if you don't have any love to give. So you got to love yourself first. And also think about your friends and family who's like, oh yeah, I want my nephew, I want my niece to come on over for a visit. There you go. There you go. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to take a nap. Use the people around you. Also, you know what? Therapy, counseling, that's a form of self-care. Just having someone you can talk to who is not going to call you crazy. You're paying them, so they're never going to be annoyed with you talking to them about your problems. They will be happy to sit there for an hour and listen to you and give you some guidance. That is going to do wonders for your mental health. And then let's talk about some practical tips for a smooth journey, right? If you're sailing on the oceans of divorce, the ocean has waves. But you can have a smoother journey than if you're driving your boat into the eye of a storm. Let's not do that. So stay organized. Keep things organized. Have your kids' report cards and IEPs and 504 plans at the ready. Have your financial disclosures, all the financial type of paperwork, have that ready too, so that when you need it, you know where it's at. When you have paperwork that is filed by the court, keep a copy of it. Don't lose that paperwork. So stay organized. Use mediation. Use mediation. I was talking to a prospective client today, and she kept saying, this seems a lot friendlier. It seems a lot friendlier than if I were to get a lawyer. I think he would feel threatened if I got a lawyer. She knows her spouse, and it is friendlier. It doesn't mean it's always easy, and it doesn't mean that everybody's behaving nicely, but it does mean there is a spirit and a heart behind mediation that says, we're going to stick this out and have these difficult conversations and get through these uncomfortable parts so that we can have a happily ever after apart. So we can go our separate ways, hold our heads up high, and know we did what was best for ourselves and for our children, and we handled ourselves with class and grace. Sorry, it's Monday. Okay. Prepare for the future. So when you are going through divorce, especially when you're mediating, people like to focus on the past. You've got to focus on the future. This is gone. This marriage is gone. So you have to get your emotionally ridden state, your shell, you might even be shell shocked with the news of divorce. It may be hard for you to function, but things are moving, whether you want them to or not. You have to get yourself focused on the future. This is why self-care is so important. This is why therapy is so important, because you need to start making plans for the future. Plans for yourself, plans for your children, plans for your children when you are no longer on this earth. And that divorce decree, it is incredibly challenging, difficult to undo it, unless you can prove that there was some sort of fraud or duress. So you've got to plan for the future. Take your time, but don't procrastinate. And then you want to talk to some financial people. You do. You want to talk to a CDFA, a certified divorce financial analyst, who can really help you think through the finances and the nuances of your situation and help you plan for the needs of your child. You also want to talk to an estate planner of how you guys moving forward as a divorced couple can still plan something for your children so that they can be taken care of. You don't need to be overwhelmed with this. This is why there are professionals like me, and I'm surrounded by other professionals, therapists, real estate professionals, CDFAs, attorneys, who are all there to share the burden and lift the load off your shoulders so that you can get through this with grace. So do not give up. You can do this. Reach out to me, schedule a time to talk so that I can help you navigate this, and let's get this started for you. You will thank yourself. Your children will thank yourself. That doesn't sound right. You will thank yourself. Your children will thank you. And you're going to be happy with the decision that you made.